Alright, .com Secrets X members and net entrepreneurs, Christopher Wilson here with my day 9 results. And real quick, let's go ahead and get started. And what I'm going to do, as I do with all videos, I'm just going to go straight through. I'm not going to stop. And I'm using Screen-O-Matic. So I got 15 minutes to get my message through about my results for day 9. Okay, in day 9, Russell talks about the big list, co-op list, brokers, and more. And he mentions in the video that it may be kind of advanced, and actually, as I was listening to it, it was. So what I had to do, and my philosophy is in learning, is listen to it at least 7 times. 7 times. So I listened to it all day actually. So I must have listened to this video and watch this video about, well, I must say about 20 times at least, but I got it. Okay, and so the more you watch, it's a learning process and repetition and reviewing. The more you watch, the more you're going to learn. You're going to pick up something new each time. So what I did, watched the video over and over and over, and I picked up a lot of good stuff. So real quick, let's go to step 2 real quick.
Okay, so first again is our
Stop.
recap from yesterday.
Okay. Day 8 was a review. I did the day 8 video actually. That's when I sent out a solo email to contact safelist. Got 8 clicks. I believe it was 400 something clicks and 8 opt-ins actually. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but that was from day 8. And I purchased a solo ad, but had some trouble with PayPal and with the vendor, so I'm waiting on my refund. So when I get my refund for the solo ad that I purchased, I'm going to send that solo ad out again. So I'm kind of stuck on day 8, but I'm moving on to day 9. Okay, so as you see right here, did this part right here. I viewed all the solo ad vendors, and I actually purchased the ad, but like I said, with PayPal and with the vendor, I ran into a few problems, so I'm waiting on a refund on that. Actually, I've been waiting about 3 days now. So anyway, so if it works, then buy bigger. Of course, if it does, that's what I'm going to do. If not, test another list, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's go to the next part real quick. Okay, the bigger lists, general interest lists. Okay, Russell says that these lists are general, and a few of them are niche specific. And actually, I checked this list. Let me go to the training. This is the traffic tools, and you just click traffic and go to big email lists, and these are all the sites that Russell says look at, and I looked at each one of them. Okay, I did exactly what he said. He said look at them. Well, that's in the homework section, but he said just look at them. And what I did, I clicked each one, and actually I bookmarked each one, and it's some real gems in here. Most of these lists are general, but a few of these are niche specific. And what I did, I downloaded a few ebooks from these sites, and actually let me show you one of them. Okay, this is michaelsavage.com. okay, and right here it says right here, advertise on this site. Okay, so he lets you know with most of the websites on this list here, I found what I had to do was scroll to the bottom, and you'll see where it says advertise. Okay, so most of the sites are like that. So that's where you get your advertising information. Okay, and most of these sites, as Russell said, it costs I don't know, it can run into the thousands to advertise on these sites, but it's well worth it. You can pay 5,000, 10,000, but you're going to reach 6 million visitors or 6 million subscribers on their list. Okay, this is for the big dogs. Really, it really is. So that's how that goes. But that's one. And here's another one, and I downloaded an ebook from this site actually. Yes, right there, I believe. Yeah. and that's a good ebook. I browsed over, didn't read it all, but you can download that free. But johnchild.com is generating over 3,000 page views per month. Okay, so you can advertise on this site. You can, and he gives you site statistics. He gives you the Alexa ranking, Technorati, RSS. So he's one of the big dogs. Look at this. Facebook, 14,000 people liked it. Okay, matter of fact, let me like it now. Get my like in. Okay, and so on. So and that's it. And what I did, I went ahead and subscribed to his list actually. But this is one of the big list sites, but it's niche specific. Okay, let's see. Here is another one. Okay. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm not at that part yet. But let me pull up another one. Like I said, I bookmarked all these sites. And let's see. Okay, let's go to this one. This is the niche specific site. Is it? Yeah. Okay. And it's about online marketing. Okay. Get access to 1,000 plus products to sell and so forth. PLR Vault. I will check that out. And to advertise, matter of fact, this is a good book to get. Okay, you subscribe to his list, you can get that ebook right there, free. But down here, advertising. Okay, so with all the big list sites, scroll to the bottom. You can go to the advertising and see what what's going on with that. Okay, gives you information on advertising. Okay, top sponsor ad $6.75. That would be well worth it. Middle sponsor ad $4.95, and so on. You got banner ad rates. Okay, and like I said, I just did what Russell said. He said browse through them. Look at this. Okay, 200. Okay, you can get a skyscraper app for 200. Just imagine that. And this site gets a lot of views. Let's see. Okay, good. I got my SEO Quake up. Let's take a look at this. It's a page ranker 3. Let's see. You can see. There's a way to check the views. Let's see. I'm gonna check the page views if I can. I know you can do that somewhere with SEO Quake. Well, I don't see it right now. But obviously he can charge what he charges for his ads because he can do that. He's one of the big dogs. Okay. So with that being said, let's go to the next step. Okay, now to find out. Okay, big newsletters. Okay, Russell suggests that it's easy to test with Archamax before you spend any money on a large campaign. It's best to test with Archamax. Okay, and this is Archamax right here. And let me tell you something. Just looking at this site, this is some real Illuminati stuff. And what I mean by that is it's kind of secretive. It looks like a regular site, not too flashy anything, but this is one of the Illuminati secrets. It really is. And then when you browse around, you go to a few pages. Okay, let me show you this. Suppose I want to go to samples. Let's try that. Samples. Nothing found. Okay. Well, guess what? You can't access all that stuff. You got to get in. You got to pay the money to get into the club. Right? Okay, simple as that. But Russell suggests test with Archamax. Okay. Whatever your niche is. Whatever niche is, you can test it with Archamax. It says dedicated emails.com can help you take your offer over the 1 million targeted opt-in subscribers. So you advertise with them, you with the big dogs. Okay. And real quick, let's move on. Okay, he says most sites are that opt into to offers that we have are conservative Republicans. He also, he says that Bob Proctor. And if you all don't know Bob Proctor, you need to get to know him. He has this secret science of getting rich. I have that program. It's an $800 program. You need to listen to those wealth building, motivational videos and MP3s. I'm telling you, it would get you hyped. And Bob Proctor is the man. But anyway, he mentions Bob Proctor. He said Bob Proctor sent one email to his list, and I'm on Bob Proctor's list, and he said they had to write him a check of over $100,000. Russell did. So with that, and just like I said, just looking at all these sites, you can't be scared to advertise. You can't be scared to advertise. You can't be scared to spend the money on advertising. And that's one of my biggest downfalls, and I'm overcoming that. And actually, after watching this video, that's overcame, because I had to think about the Super Bowl. Super Bowl commercials. They spend millions of dollars, $4 million for one commercial. Why is that? Okay, that's just for exposure. Okay, so that's just how this game is played. You have to advertise. So when you ask to advertise for $6,000, $7,000, that's what it costs. They just think about billboard advertising. They have to advertise with a lot of money. Average billboard costs about, the cheapest billboard is $5,000, which is pretty good. So if you get a billboard, $5,000, you're doing pretty good. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's see. We're moving on. List brokers. Okay. He talks about one of his list brokers, Brian Littman. Okay, he's in the personal development area. He has 20+ email lists, and Russell suggests that you use him because it made him lots of money. Okay, so he said check him out. Let's go to member co-ops. Okay, and what he suggests is that if you can't afford an ad, there's a co-op service, and co-op means, of course, to assist, when co-worker, and so forth. And this kind of reminds me of like people pooling their money together to play the lottery. It's kind of a lottery thing. But everybody puts their money in, and Russell announces it, and it may actually spend $300. He's like he says, there's 10 people, $300. And they're gonna put you into the rotation. So, sending out to 6 million people, you're bound to get some subscribers. Of course, there's no guarantee. Just like when Coca-Cola pays, Super Bowl committee to advertise. There's no guarantee that Coke will sell, so many million bottles of Coke. There's no guarantee on it. But it is what it is. You just want the exposure. He says he's going to post those on the Facebook group real quick. And the homework. Okay. And I did all of these. I looked at the big general list, and I found a few nuggets of gold there. Second, I looked at the list broker sites. I watched the over the shoulder coaching, and I did that. And I noticed, and I made a note of this when Russell was doing the training. He seen something he liked. He went ahead and bought it. There wasn't no second guessing about it. So he says, watch the co-op ads and see if you're able to participate. And I actually checked the co-op, and right now it is closed. Oh, one other thing, real quick. .com members, you need to look at these. Let me show you these. You need to look at these. Very important, good information. I watched this about 3 times or 4 times. Okay, and you also need to get this video. I'm sorry, the audio. That's the audio. But you need to watch this. Where am I at? How's that talking at? Okay. But anyway, I'm coming up on 1352. But anyway, just go to this section. My computer's acting funny now. Let me pause. Okay, but yeah, you need to watch this this interview, or listen to this interview with Patrick Coffey. That's a guy that he hired. He paid him $5,000 for 1 day of coaching to find out, where he posts his solo ad list. And he used to work for Archemax, I believe. So anyway, watch both of these. That's on the big list email. And do I have time to show some results? Let me stop. Okay, yeah, just check my PayPal. ClickBank account, and I got 2 sales this week so far, and today is Tuesday. So I haven't done any promoting. I believe these came just from my email funnel. From my squeeze page. Simple as that. I've got a nice email funnel going with nice follow-up email. So I'm coming up on 15 minutes. I'm going to talk faster, get my message across, and the video is going to end in about 5 seconds. Take care. God bless.